I bet you don't know who Drake was referencing in the Iceman song Whisper My Name when he had the lyrics, "We turned up Coachella and had boys backing down." So this story takes us all the way back to 2014 when we talk about a rapper named DRAM, who you might know for the song Broccoli with Lil Yachty. Now DRAM hailed out of Virginia and in the middle of 2014 made a song called Cha-Cha, which is a dance that originates from Cuba but made the song about a Dominican girl. Now this song initially had a sample from a Super Mario World song called Star World, but Nintendo are notorious about gatekeeping their samples, and when the song started seeing some sleeper success, the producer changed the sample to something a little bit more 8-bit sounding. The song continued to get cosigns throughout 2014, including rappers like Chance the Rapper, who posted about it on Twitter, and in early 2015 when Beyonce posted a gif of herself dancing to the song. With this song slowly becoming a summer 2015 hit with a Caribbean theme, Drake decided that he wanted a piece of this as well. And on July 25th of 2015, released a song called Hotline Bling, in parentheses Cha-Cha remix, along with two other songs called Charged Up and Right Hand. Now Drake's version of Hotline Bling followed the exact same hi-hat pattern as DRAM, as well as following the exact same snare pattern as DRAM. The only difference being with DRAM's snare pattern is every other snare was a young chop snare, while Drake used the same snare throughout the whole song. But with DRAM falling victim to the fact that he had to change the initial melody, Drake also changed the melody for his Hotline Bling version, and despite this previewing on OVO Sound Radio as Hotline Bling Cha-Cha remix, the new sample on Drake's version was Why Can't We Live Together by Timmy Thomas, a famous R&B song from the 70s with a bit of a calypso vibe to follow the Caribbean vibe. Now with Charged Up being a prequel diss to his song Back to Back against Meek Mill that came out a week later, songs like Right Hand and Hotline Bling Cha-Cha remix didn't end up seeing much attention initially. Drake's version started slowly climbing the charts after his successful takedown of Meek Mill in summer 2015 and reached number 66 on the charts to begin with. As the song increased in popularity over the coming months, he released a music video for this at the beginning of October, with the music video inspired by Gimme the Light by Sean Paul. This video was also shot by director X, the person that introduced him and Rihanna together all the way back in 2005 in Toronto, but also shot the music video for Work that the two of them released 5 months later. The only problem was, Drake didn't include Cha-Cha remix in the title of Hotline Bling, and decided to omit it after the apparent success the song was showing, especially with all the memes that came out of the music video. Original creator of the Cha-Cha song DRAM was extremely disappointed by this, and took to Twitter 2 weeks later to say the following: "Just performed in Toronto for the first time tonight, and it was bittersweet. Sweet cause I'm out here sharing my music, my sound with the people. Bitter though cause after my performance, all I'm seeing is Cha-Cha Hotline Bling comparisons on my timeline." He continued to say, "People want to know how I feel about that? Yeah, I feel I got jacked for my record, but I'm good. I'm happy that the Virginia sound that me and Gabe Niles are steady working on is growing, and in 2016, we're gonna own it." The very next day, Drake defended his right to be able to interpret songs when he had the following quote: "Sometimes I just do that. I'll hear people's stuff and I'll just give my interpretation of how I would have done it." And Drake's interpretation ended up being an absolute smash hit, with Hotline Bling amassing almost 2 billion views on YouTube as the years commenced, and becoming one of his most famous songs in his discography. DRAM felt disappointed at the lack of recognition Drake had given him for a song that he did initially call Cha-Cha Remix, and throughout 2016 continued to release songs like Broccoli and Cash Machine, which only helped build up his name. But after Drake had performed at Coachella in 2015 as a headline act, he showed up for Future for a few songs in 2017 and performed with his Atlanta collaborator. It was at an after party at Coachella 2017 when DRAM approached Drake in the club and tried to speak to him about the fact that Drake had bitten his style on Hotline Bling. Drake apparently took him aside and had his bodyguards throw him out of the party, something that he wasn't willing to listen to while he was in party mode. And just 2 years later, when Drake was signed on to be the executive producer for the English show Top Boy, which he helped revive, he had the following lyrics on the UK drilled inspired song that he put on the soundtrack called Behind Bars, where he said, "We seen man last night they froze, wasn't no cameras, wasn't no pose, just like that one time at Chella, good thing man weren't pulling out phones." Even though DRAM didn't say anything about this, Drake once again took to a song in 2022 called Back Outside Boys, where he referenced this situation again with Lil Yachty, ironically a former collaborator of DRAM, with the lyrics, "Try to bring the drama to me, he ain't know how we cha-cha slide." This time DRAM had had enough and put a video on Twitter the following morning where he explained that Drake was obsessed with him and shouldn't be referencing this situation even 5 years later. He then moved to TMZ the following day and had the following words to say about their altercation. "In 2017 at Coachella, he was DJing a party and I approached him. He stepped outside and there was a whole army of 15 guys. DRAM proceeded to call Drake jealous of his singing ability in this interview and mentioned the fact that Drake shouldn't be mentioning this ever again. But Drake had a very subtle nod once again on the song Whisper My Name, making sure that DRAM didn't get the final say, when he had the lyric, "We turned up Coachella and had boys backing down." Now, in my personal opinion, I think Drake could have done a little bit more to pay homage to DRAM. I know he did initially name this Cha-Cha remix, but removing it from the title upon the song's success seems a little bit convenient. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below.